Okay, I know. I said Demon Lord 2099 was dog water. If that was her trying, it was kind of trash. Apologize, but it's And I'm not gonna lie, bro, this fight was very lackluster. But listen, hear me out. I was watching it with the shonen mindset, and that's you screw up. If you watch it with cyberpunk political, unraveling it like an onion, like Shrek said, you kind of start appreciating it more because you realize there's a lot more to the plot than just fights. Here's where we left off so far after that little fight scene with Marcus and everything. It gets nice. So the Demon Lord just caught a body. He took out Marcus, and unfortunately, he just jumps right back on the game, does a 74-hour stream, and doesn't give a damn. I'm saying that's a lot of psychopathic behavior coming from him right there. But after he's done his stream, he ends up talking to Machina, and he's like, Machina, something's been weighing on my chest a little bit. I've been really wanting to go and find some of the Dark Peers. And the Dark Peers, as we know it, are his loyal subjects. There's about 6 of them, but they've only mentioned 4 so far. Now, we hear Duke Zeno. Duke Zeno was the one that got wiped out by Marcus. He actually got his soul placed in the ether as well in a sizzling pot of soda, and he starts sizzling away. He supplied the ether, unfortunately, for a little while longer, and is no more. We also have Ralsheen the Blue Storm, Shilwall the Black Dragon, and May the Mournful Firmament. We find out later that she's low-key Machina's kid sister, so that's kind of interesting. And pretty much in order to find these Dark Peers, they have to find this book called the Dark Peers Records. So it's pretty much like a book where they pour their magical energy into, and this allows them to be found like Find My Friends. And so once they find this book, they'll be able to locate where they are, their whereabouts, and what they've been doing this whole time, because it keeps all those records. As the Demon Lord is talking to Machina about all this new plot, this new little setup for their new mission, Takahashi enters and she wants to know what's going on because she sees that they're talking, but they ain't really letting her in on the sauce. So she's like, let me in on the sauce too. They end up letting her know that they want to look for their friends, which is the Dark Peers, like we said. They tell her that they're looking for this book called the Dark Peers Records, and then they're like, okay, we just need to figure out where this book could potentially be. Her being a hacker, she was able to look up some things that are related to the Dark Peers Records, and she finds out that it's a treasury that's beneath a school that's been closed and shut up for about 500 years or so. So now they have to figure out how they're going to infiltrate this treasury. I personally thought they was going to do some cool ass, like jump in the window, kick things down, take what they need to take, but instead they go ahead and enroll as school students. But the Demon Lord don't look like he's a high school student to me. He looks like he's in the mid to late 20s. So the sense ain't really making sense to me. But hey, you know, they gonna do what they gonna do. I thought he was gonna at least shapeshift a little bit to look younger, but none of that happened. So now him, Machina, and Takahashi are exchange students. And then they meet these 2 other characters named Trate Goltal. They meet Trate Goltal, or you roll the R in this shit? Throttle Goltal, Gottle. And then the Professor Mag, or Mog. I can't remember these damn names. They're meeting with these 2 individuals in order to enter into the school. So Takahashi created fake documents for all 3 of them, and she approves them to get into the school. Of course, Of course, the woman head of the Gato clan, the one that has a terrible name, she's somewhat suspicious of them, so she asks them, what is your actual whereabouts and why are you really trying to come through it? Takahashi was going to start doing a big lie because she wasn't really trying to tell her the truth, but the Demon Lord being a Demon Lord, he's going to go ahead and spill the beans because he ain't got nothing to worry about. He's him. So he says, we're coming here simply because we want to get into the treasury. We want to see what's inside. There's some things that I want to know about, and I know it's here, so I want to get in. The head of the Gato clan is like, bet, I love your honesty. So basically, in order to get in there, and she starts spilling the beans on how to get in. And she says that there's 3 clans that are ahead of Akihabara City, which is where they are, and those are the Saybirds, the Reynards, and the Goddles, which she's the head of. Each one of them have these things called regalia, and the regalia are pretty much ornaments of the goddess Meldia, passed down after 500 years, and they all somewhat embody her soul to it. If these 3 things come together, I think it breaks the seal on the treasury beneath the school, and then that allows them to get in. So now they're on a mission to find these regalia and get into the school's treasury. Of course, when they get introduced to the class, they each make their foreign exchange student grant entry, and they also get their power levels tested. And when they get their power levels tested, it's kind of cool because the Demon Lord flexes a bit saying, hey, when I test it by putting my hand over this little crystal thing, it's going to shatter the crystal. The teacher's like, that's impossible. And he shatters the crystal, and everybody in the class is like, damn, big dog, I didn't know you was that strong, brother. And of course, you have those haters here and there. And this is where our little protagonist comes into play. His name is Albert for this little episode. And Albert is going to go ahead and start bullying Hizuki. And Hizuki is a little new character we seen in the beginning of this episode where she kept hearing his voice in her head saying, I'm sorry. You know why she kept hearing his pinging saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she didn't know what was going on, but she kept hearing his voice in her head. We later find out why this happened, but Albert comes over, starts bullying Hizuki, and the Demon Lord is over here trying to enjoy his noodles. What? Huh? Because Albert's so annoying, keep pestering Hizuki, he's like, you know what, brother? You pissed me off to the point where I don't even want to eat my noodles no more. What I want to do is fight you because you think you're so hard ass and you think you're a big shot just because you're a noble in some big noble family. But you ain't part of no clan that's important, so I'm gonna duel your ass and show you who really a boss. And that's what he went ahead and did. He brought him back to the corridors of the school. Everybody was watching. Duels are actually allowed in this school, and he decided to show Albert a lesson. Of course, like I said, I don't really care for their little dueling / fight scenes. They talk a lot in these damn fight scenes and they don't never get to the point. Still, I'm stuck with this shonen mindset, but it was kind of cool. Demon Lord's like, I want you to put all your energy in Splash so I can really show you what's up. I'm not going to even use another hand. I'm going to stay in this one spot. I don't even move any feet. Matter of fact, let's make an oath. If I move my feet, I'll do anything you want me to do. But if you can't beat me, you got to leave Hizuki alone for the rest of her life and you can't bully her no more. And of course, Albert's gonna put all the wind behind his shot, trying to kill the Demon Lord low-key. And it was somewhat of a powerful level what the Demon Lord said. He was like, you did pretty good for a person of your stature, but with 200 years of training, you might become some foe, which is pretty, you know, if the Demon Lord telling me that and he lived 500 years, I would take that as a commendable thing. Of course, Albert ain't know he's a Demon Lord, but you know, you gotta, I'd be like, damn, I ain't know all that strong. I'm up here. Once the blast comes towards the Demon Lord, he actually grabs it with one hand, grabs it by one hand, vanishes the little blow, and then he does like this little power-up charge on his finger and throws a little ball towards Albert and sends him flying back to the wall of the damn corridor of the school where he dueling at. And that just showed Albert right there that he ain't got no level on the Demon Lord's power. So Albert leaves Hizuki alone now, and now the Demon Lord walks over to Hizuki, starts being friendly with her, saying da-da-da, how you doing? I did that for you. You know, it's kind of like showing that I want to be your friend. Hizuki's being nonchalant, saying, oh, thanks, well, leave me alone because if you want to have a peaceful life, I don't suggest you really talk to me like that. Giving us some foreshadowing that she might be bad luck. But the Demon Lord has all the bad luck. He is terror. He is the Demon Lord. He don't really care about no bad luck. So he's going to continue to pursue her. But he also realizes that she has a lot more power within her that she doesn't even know about. And he keeps hinting at this here and there, but we don't really know how or where it's going to come and show. The Demon Lord also knew that Hizuki was actually head of the Reynard clan too. So he kind of did that in confidence, knowing that she would hopefully befriend him and then probably give the regalia that they need in order to open up the treasure. But after talking to Hizuki, they actually realized that she don't even know where the orb is. The orb is lost. So they kind of low-key have no leads on the other regalia. They know that the professor that they spoke to in the beginning in order to get into the school has her regalia, but they need the other two in order to get into the treasury, like I said. So after the duel, Takahashi decides to take him to this weird-ass kinky kawaii cafe thing, and you got like buff dudes dressing up as maids, and I think this is like extreme otaku. Basically, pretty much exactly what I told y'all was ranked. The tier list I made, if you didn't see that video, look up to the right, you're gonna see it pop out. But the tier list, these are the people that was ranked C. But anyway, they go to this kawaii kinky ass cafe in order to get some intel, low-key information. And Takahashi says this is a great place to go because one, the vibe and atmosphere that she really likes, and two, everybody gossips here, so all the maids low-key know the gossip. The funny thing is, one of the maids there was actually Hizuki, the same girl with the two colored eyes that's head of the Reynard clan. Yeah, so she ain't really rich. So she lost all her money. She's actually broke poor, but she's low-key working a part-time job in order to make a little bit of ends meet. But they still make her act in character, calling the master and everything, and it's mad humiliating to her, but you know, she does it all the way up until the end of her shift. And Hizuki actually goes into deep explanation about the past and history of the regalia that they're actually looking. So she kind of pretty much says that the regalia were actually once given to the hero Graham, along with his everlasting youthfulness, territory, and vast treasure, and also her blessing. Once the hero Graham was exiled, he ended up giving the regalia to someone, and that person was King Luxel II, and he's the one that actually created the three houses of the regalia, because he ended up dying, and those regalia were passed down to his three sons. But they had a hard time getting along, so they ended up dividing the wealth. They started creating territories and authorities, and then they pretty much made like war with each other, and now the regalia have been separated into three houses, all stemming from the bloodline of Luxel II. And because the three houses pretty much resent each other low-key, that's why the seal in the treasury hasn't been broken, because they cannot come together. So that's why it's so hard to get all the regalia together, because they low-key have opposing views on a lot of things that they want to take place now with Akihabara City. Pretty much a lot of politics. And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, it gets a lot deeper than this. We get into a little bit of treachery, some betrayal, a lot of deep stuff is coming up, and I didn't want to make this video too long, so we're gonna get into it in the next video. I want to wait for a couple episodes to come out too. So I like y'all. I really appreciate y'all. We pretty much almost at 100+ subscribers, and by the time this video comes out, we'll probably be at 100+ subscribers. So I do want to say thank each and every one of y'all for sticking around. And soon, one day, we gonna have a plaque. One day. Anyway, man, my name is Marv. Please join the cult. I'm gonna keep saying that until it becomes a good running joke. But like, comment, subscribe, and man, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace.